Welcome back to our ship type series. This video focuses on ships that serve national defence and naval operations. Ships built for combat and power projection at sea. We're covering military vessels. Warships exist for naval operations, defence, control and combat at sea, and they operate under Navy command. A modern navy isn't made up of one kind of ship. Different warships do different jobs, and they work together as a single force. Let's go through the main types. First up are aircraft carriers. These are warships built to operate aircraft at sea. That allows fighter jets, helicopters, and surveillance aircrafts to launch and recover far from land. The flight deck is where operations happen. Aircraft are launched by catapults, caught by arresting cables on landing, refueled, rearmed, and sent back into the air. Aircraft carriers play the main role in power projection, and because of their importance, they never sail alone. They operate at the centre of a protected fleet made up of other warships. Only a few countries operate true aircraft carriers today, with the United States running the largest and most advanced carrier fleet in the world. While aircraft carriers project air power, some warships deliver forces directly onto hostile shores. That role is handled by amphibious assault ships. They carry troops, vehicles and landing craft, allowing military forces to move straight from sea to shore without relying on ports. Many also operate helicopters, but unlike aircraft carriers, these helicopters exist to support ground forces, not control the skies. A key feature is the well deck at the stern, which can be flooded to launch armoured vehicles and landing craft carrying soldiers directly toward the coastline. Inside, these ships are set up for large troop numbers, vehicle storage, command centres and medical facilities. From the outside, they resemble smaller aircraft carriers, but their real purpose is different, delivering forces directly onto hostile coastlines. And once forces are ashore, they need protection from sea-based threats. Destroyers are fast, heavily armed warships that defend the fleet from the air, surface and submarine threats. They act as the fleet's outer shield, using radar, missiles and sonar to spot danger early and deal with it before it gets too close. The destroyer role traces back to the late 1800s. They were originally called torpedo boat destroyers, fast ships built to hunt down the small, cheap torpedo boats that threatened expensive battleships. By World War I, destroyers had evolved. They escorted battleship fleets, hunted submarines and laid mines. On April 21st, 1917, two British destroyers, HMS Broke and HMS Swift, intercepted 6 German destroyers off the coast of Dover. In a close-range night battle, Broke rammed one German destroyer and sank it. Swift torpedoed another, and both British ships survived. But those destroyer battles didn't happen in isolation. They were part of much bigger decisions being made at the national level. It's 1914. Steel hulls are replacing wooden ships, and you're running a nation. Germany's mobilizing. The British Navy controls the seas with its early carriers and observation balloons. What do you prioritize? Naval power to challenge Britain? Cavalry? The new technology like tanks and artillery? Do you form alliances or go in alone? That's what you're dealing with in Supremacy 1914, today's sponsor. It's a real-time strategy game where you're leading an actual World War I nation, managing blockades, commanding forces, and making alliances against up to 499 real players in matches that run for weeks. You're controlling borders, economies, armies, and fleets as everything unfolds in real time. Click the link down below for a free starter pack containing Lawrence of Arabia, worth about $15 US. But now, back to the video. After World War I, the destroyer concept solidified. US Navy destroyers, for example, regularly escort aircraft carriers and amphibious groups, and in recent years they've been used to intercept incoming missiles in the Red Sea. On one deployment, they may be tracking submarines, and on another they're providing air defense or launching long-range strikes. This makes them one of the most important ships in any modern navy. Destroyers handle the most demanding threats, but they can't be everywhere at once. That's where frigates come in. Frigates are smaller and carry lighter firepower, yet they form the backbone of many modern navies. Their role is to escort valuable vessels, protect sea lanes, and patrol wide areas where constant presence matters more than overwhelming firepower. One of their tasks is anti-submarine warfare. Using sonar and lightweight torpedoes, frigates hunt for submarines that threaten convoys or coastal waters. They also contribute to air defense and surface combat, though on a more limited scale than destroyers. In many fleets, frigates aren't the most powerful ships, but they're often the ones doing the most work. Smaller than frigates are corvettes, compact warships designed for coastal defense and patrol, protecting territorial waters and conducting anti-submarine warfare in shallow seas where larger ships struggle to operate. They're fast, lightly armed, and cheaper to build than frigates. Israel's Sa'ar-class corvettes are armed with missiles and designed for quick strikes in confined waters. Russia's Steregushi-class corvettes focus on anti-submarine work in the Baltic and Black Seas. Frigates and corvettes spend a lot of time hunting submarines, but the submarines themselves are a different kind of threat altogether. Unlike surface warships, their strength comes from stealth. A submarine can stay hidden for weeks, tracking enemy ships without ever being seen. Modern submarines can carry torpedoes and missiles, allowing them to strike surface ships, other submarines, and even land targets. Some are also designed to launch ballistic missiles, making them a key part of a country's nuclear deterrent. While submarines operate through stealth, cruisers exert control through command. These are the ships that often take charge of what's happening on the surface. They are large surface combatants, built to coordinate fights and project power over wide areas. With powerful radar systems and long-range missiles, they can detect threats early and respond quickly, whether those threats come from the air, the sea, or land. In modern navies, cruisers are often used as flagships, meaning senior commanders operate from them. They direct air defense, coordinate missile strikes, and manage fleet movements. Cruisers are fewer in number, but when one is present, it usually signals that something important is being protected or controlled. However, control at sea doesn't always come from firepower. Mine warfare vessels shape the battlefield by dealing with naval mines, one of the simplest yet most disruptive weapons at sea. A single mine can block access to an area, disrupt shipping routes, or slow down an entire naval operation. These vessels carry out closely linked roles, laying mines to defend coastlines, ports, and key waterways, and locating and neutralizing enemy mines. Compared to larger combat ships, they are usually smaller and built with non-magnetic hulls to reduce the risk of triggering mines. Their work is deliberate, often carried out ahead of amphibious landings or after water conflicts to reopen vital sea lanes. All of these warships, carriers, destroyers, submarines, they need fuel, ammunition, food, and supplies. Replenishment ships provide that. They're floating warehouses. Fleet oilers carry fuel, ammunition ships carry missiles and ordnance. Store ships carry food, spare parts, and everything else a fleet needs. They meet warships at sea and transfer supplies while both ships are underway, a process called replenishment at sea, or RAS. Hospital ships are purpose-built medical vessels operating under Geneva Convention protections. They carry surgeons, operating rooms, intensive care units, and medical staff. USNS Mercy and USNS Comfort are the US Navy's 2 hospital ships. Each can treat hundreds of patients simultaneously. They've been deployed for military operations and disaster relief. Haiti after the 2010 earthquake, New York City during the COVID-19 pandemic. And this brings the military category to a close. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Think you have what it takes to lead a nation through World War I? Play Supremacy 1914 for free. Use the link in the description to claim your free starter pack containing Lawrence of Arabia himself now.